Hey, everybody. Mountain Dew Mania here, and welcome to my not a rant today. Since Halloween fell on Friday, I thought I would do a Halloween special for you guys. And this is my home. This is where I live on Vox Populi, and I live in one of the admin's towns, Dana. It's her town, and I've showed you my boring house. I think I'm going to tear a lot of it down and redo some of it. But this is where I live, and I'm just doing a little bit of decorating for. See if I can get my. Come on, let's see. There maybe? Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. Gonna put me out some jack o' lanterns, and I've got some. You can see I got some goodies getting ready for the kids to come trick or treating. I thought I heard them on a street down there earlier. Couldn't be sure. Um, the wind's kind of picking up. It's kind of a strange wind tonight. I don't know. It's kind of odd. But it's Halloween, so you never know what's going to happen. And putting out some zombie heads, for decorations. And it's just a creepy kind of day today. And speaking of creepy and Halloween, I thought I would kind of do not a really a rant on Halloween, but just kind of a story time, history time about Halloween. And Pig, you're getting on my nerves, so we're just gonna have to murder you. Die, 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 Piggy, Piggy, die. All right, thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, um, it's just a weird kind of day today, and I thought I would share some interesting Halloween facts that I kind of found, and it's kind of like I said, not a rant, just a thing. And I'm decorating my house with all my heads. And so the definition of Halloween is the evening of October 31st. It's the eve of All Saints' Day, and it is observed especially by kids um, who solicit for candy and they dress up in costumes, and they often threaten to do minor pranks, trick or treat, which one do you want? And you all know that. And but there are different customs all over the world. Just Google it, you'll find some really cool facts, which I did. I typed in strange Halloween facts, and I came up with some cool stuff. And I also came up with actual quotes about Halloween. And one of them, this was kind of creepy. I really enjoyed this one. There are nights when the wolves are silent and only the moon howls. I thought that was pretty creepy. And I found this little poem. It didn't have an author, so I can't name an author. I don't know who it is. Um, when witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, "'Tis near Halloween." I love that one. And the one quote that I found that was actually about Halloween, not about ghosts or demons or, monsters, but actually about Halloween, was by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who said, where there is no imagination, there is no horror. And he went on to talk about Halloween. So I thought I really liked that one because you really do need a good imagination to enjoy the deeper meaning behind Halloween. It's not just candy and costumes and trick or treating. I mean, there's Halloween has been around for a long time, so of course, there's just it is actually thought to have started around 4500 BC, which, or 4000 BC, which makes it about 6000 years old. Been around quite a bit. And Ireland is typically believed to be where the birthplace of Halloween. I don't know how true that is, but that's kind of it's associated with starting in Ireland. And here's another interesting fact. Did you hear that? Footsteps walking. I heard footsteps. That was creepy. I'm pretty much the only one in town right now. Okay. Weird. Um. All right. I'm all right. um. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about the. There is a phobia for Halloween. Samhainophobia? And Samhain, I've seen that word somewhere else, something to do with Halloween, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, there is a phobia of Halloween, Samhainophobia. So now you will notice, you saw from my title screen that I kind of used black and orange. Those colors are pretty much synonymous with Halloween, and there's actually kind of a reason behind that. Um, orange is a symbol of strength and endurance, while black is usually the symbol of death and darkness. So they both kind of act as a reminder that Halloween was a festival that marked the boundaries between life and death. Is basically why those two colors are most associated with Halloween. So I mean, it's pretty cool that I keep hearing footsteps or leaves or rustling or something. It's weird. Um, wow, I don't know what that is, but I hear the kids. Sounds like the kids are getting a little closer. Um, but there are some traditions actually about Halloween. Oh, and speaking of traditions, jack o' lanterns, of course, are a huge tradition. Carving of jack o' lanterns and things like that. We've all shapes and sizes. Pretty cool thing. The facts about jack o' lanterns. There's like contests. There's like world records. There are towns that decorate. I mean, they hold world records. One place had like 30,000, I think it was. They do every Halloween, which is really really cool. But did you know that the first jack o' lanterns were made out of turnips, not pumpkins? That would have been cool to see. Okay, I thought that was pretty interesting. And there are what is that walking? I hear somebody walking. I know you guys hear that. You hear that, right? Man, I know I hear that. It's so weird. Um, there are a couple of Halloween is it's one of those. There's a lot of legends built up around it. I mean, and there's a lot of horror stories, urban legends you hear that are actually true. I will tell you a couple of those in a minute. But there's something about Halloween. I don't know if it's the wearing of the masks or the costumes, and you get to be somebody else, and I don't know what it is. It's just that strange thing, but because of, I mean, and it should be night, and you should be walking in the crisp autumn air, and be safe, but sadly, honestly, with our society today, Halloween has pretty much become a daytime, you know, thing, and it shouldn't. It's too bad that that we're that evil and um, it's horrible that we can't even let our kids enjoy something as wonderful as Halloween. But I mean, it hasn't always been that way. But probably the first time I can ever remember being, wow, scared. Let me think. Maybe back when I was a kid. You guys, well, it was a long time ago. Way back, okay, I was born in 1966. In 1970, I cannot remember the kid's name, but it was all over the news. There was a 5-year-old kid that was allegedly ate Halloween candy laced with heroin. Now, actually, it come to find out later that the it was the boy's uncle, and he had put heroin in candy to like hide it and like sell it. That was or something like that. But it wasn't intended for Halloween. The kid just found the candy. But now the first actual scare, but like the next year in my little town, there was no trick or treating. And then like the year after that, like in 1972, um, there was like only like the stores stayed open a little later, and the parents took their kids around to the stores. And like in town, there was no. Well, actually, I lived way out in the country, so if you wanted to trick or treat, you had to go to town. Um, Town people like our little community, rich people lived in town. That was the mind. Poor people lived out in the farms. Rich people lived in town, so you wanted to go to town if you could get your parents to drive you, because you got to remember, I mean, there was like gas shortages, and I mean, it was, uh, back then, if gas was like 70 cents a gallon, I mean, that was like super high, it was like outrageous. So, and it was a big deal to go to town when I was a kid. So, but then, like, not by 1973, that had died down, and, it wasn't a thing anymore. So, I mean, there was festivals and parties, and, kids bobbing for apples, and, haunted houses, haunted hay rides. I mean, it was awesome. It was an awesome time. Then, 1974, this is the one I think that really changed how we as a country celebrate Halloween. An 8-year-old boy died of cyanide poisoning after eating Halloween candy. I mean, it was in the paper for weeks, months. I mean, it was just this horrific thing. But come to find out later, after they investigated, I didn't find this out for, wow, I mean, like a couple, 3 years later. Well, I didn't. I'm sure my parents knew. They just didn't tell me. They found out that the dad had taken out. What is that sound? I hear crunching leaves. I hear the kids get a little closer, but I hear crunching leaves. That somebody's walking somewhere. You know what? Let's just in case. I'm kind of getting the creepy creeps. And you notice time is frozen here. They keep it to after Halloween. They keep it dark on Vox Populi, so you are not safe outside city walls or protected areas. You will get eaten alive, literally. So yeah, but yeah, they found out the dad had taken out $20,000 um, life insurance policies on his kids. He managed to kill the boy. I think he also attempted to poison the daughter. I don't know if she died, but I know the boy died. I don't remember names or anything, but you probably find it online somewhere. Um, yeah, it was bad. After that, there was like again there was like a couple. I was like 8 maybe or something like that. Yeah. After that, there was a couple more years of no trick or treating. It was. I think that's when it went national. I'm sure it went worldwide, but that I think that is when, in my mind, it is. That's when Halloween, even at a young age, I didn't. I wasn't completely in love with it anymore. That's when I think I learned that there were bad people in the world, and sometimes mama and daddy couldn't make it okay. I think that's when I started to grow up. Um, but yeah, I mean, but people just, even today, even though it's mostly private parties. I mean, a lot of some people do still go trick or treating, but I mean, a lot of people go to planned community parties. You just, I mean, but it's still fun. That shiver of expectation is still there. I think for a lot of us, um, you want to protect your kids, but you want them for that one instant, that one time in their life. It's okay just to absolutely just gorge on candy and just have a wonderful time and be free and scream and laugh and run in the streets. And I think we all want that for our kids. Um, but 98, 99% of the time, I think people as a whole it's okay to, um, I think we make it safe for our kids. There's always going to be, in any situation, not just Halloween, there's always going to be that situation where somebody is just nasty and mean and ugly, and you just want to drag them out in the middle of the street and beat the hell out of them. And so yeah, but it's funny how oh my God, where is that crunching coming from? I hear it. So weird. But I hear the kids coming for trick or treating, so I'm gonna get my goodies ready, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'll be back next week with my regular rant, and we're on the letter H. But so I hope you enjoyed my Halloween special. And remember, I mean, it's sometimes it's fun to put on a mask, and even as an adult, and just for a little bit, kind of get lost in the mystery of something. Everything's not commercial. Everything can't be bought and paid for, and should be just exploited by big business. There are some things like sitting around on a cold night around a fire, telling horror stories, eating candied apples, roasting marshmallows in the dead of night. Um, just that's one of those things that you can do with your kids, and it's just it's for just a minute. It's just like, ooh, it's like magical. And those are some of the best memories uh, that you'll ever have. So never think that you are too old for Halloween. Ever, ever, ever. So, yeah, I hear the kitties laughing, and that it just kind of this wind's picking up, so it's just kind of a creepy feel tonight. But I want to leave you with a tradition that I always heard about when I was a kid. I was never brave enough to try it, but I did always hear it. So maybe you'll be brave enough next year to give this a try. Now, according to legend, I'm sure this is probably a worldwide thing, but I always heard it when I was a kid here in the South. According to tradition, if you wear your clothes inside out and you walk backwards on Halloween, you will see a witch by midnight. So, next year, if you're brave enough, you gotta try. Especially if you're walking down a dark street and it's late at night, the moon's out, you're walking along, you hear crunches in the leaves. Give it a try. See what happens. This is Mountain Dew Mania, and I am almost live from Vox Populi, home of zombie, mold, and Latin goddess. Thank you for joining me. Hope you had a wonderful, if you're watching this early, hope you have a safe and wonderful Halloween. If you celebrate in your part of the world. If you don't, leave in the comments some of the traditions that you do in your country. If you live outside the United States, I'd really love to know. Be most interesting. Be safe, be happy, and most of all, happy Halloween. Later, guys. I'm out.